Real-world example of an independent filmmaker and writer. This example has 5 sites. The sites started out on blogs, and they haven't been updated since 2011. Now, Google has problems going to these old blogger sites. Here's one example, thelibrarykids.com. This site will remain because there is not a lot of book sales for this site, but the intellectual property is worth keeping. Hidden Human Story is another example, and there are current book sales and documentary sales. This site must be upgraded to a WordPress site. Here is another example, Tales from the Mysterious Side. It looks pretty good with the blog, so for now it will be left as is. More of the audience is on YouTube. And, of course, Silver Sky Dreams will also be left currently in its blogger website. One last example is Treasure Hunters, a resale business. At this time, this site will be discontinued because a better name for the business has been chosen, and this will be reworked. Now, the problems are that the sites are outdated, it's bad to see on phones, it's hard to sell things through these blogs, and I'm not very motivated to keep going when I have old sites. The other problem is using a blog as a website is now causing problems because some of the software is not working well. So I've currently switched to a new hosting provider. So the question is, are these sites and their products making money? And if they're not, it's not worth paying a lot of money for a website to keep it going, but it is worth keeping the intellectual property. So keeping the domain name and the blog for now is the appropriate thing to do. But for the sites that have good sales or still having products sell, those need to be upgraded. Now, these examples are a culmination currently of 14 years of self-publishing and filmmaking, but not enough income from the products to get motivated. So I have to become more enthusiastic about my sites and products. And as I said, one of the sites is definitely worth upgrading to a WordPress site, which will be done. And it will be easier for people to find it, as well as upgrading all of the social media around it. Now, to get some good ideas of what is currently going on in the writer and filmmaker community, there is a website called Stage 32 that has a lot of good resources, and there are also some competitors currently to Stage 32. So getting back into the swing of things would also include getting back into the community of writers and filmmakers. Also looking into local area film and active collectives to continue on with what I currently have or new projects is definitely worth doing. And going over my equipment, I have old cameras versus new cameras and tripods and lighting, and of course the cell phone. And it is time to take a look at my equipment and decide what I want to do going further with my equipment. Now, I do have some very old cameras to do different effects. There are some filmmakers that like using 8mm cameras and the actual 8mm film, and there is a company with that link just listed that will sell you that film and process it for you, giving you in addition the digital file so that you can have an effect of an old camera filming something for your project. So these are some other creative ideas moving forward for freshening up what I have. But of course, everything revolves around money and time and resources and where I want to go with things. But continuing to sell my product as is really requires an update on websites that are worth updating and social media that is worth updating. It is not advisable to let go of any of your intellectual property for products that are no longer selling, because there are chances you may come back to it at a later time and it may have a second life. So, this is an example of a real world independent writer and filmmaker after about 14 years and trying to figure out how to freshen things up, change things around, and not be stale with what I have, and moving forward with new ideas while updating old ideas. So thank you for listening. Please subscribe. Thank you.